Welcome everybody to AstroFX Technical Tuesdays. I know it's been a while, and when I say while, we're talking 7 months now. I've literally just gone through the AstroFX YouTube channel, and AstroFX Technical Tuesday Volume 43 was actually published on May the 19th, 2016. But however, we have been quite active on Instagram, to be honest, especially in the last 3 or 4 months or so with the charts, the free trades, the setups and the education and so on. So now it's time to bring this channel back. Now behind me, as you can see, different scenario than last time. We've actually upgraded offices. And yeah, got some charts here. I've got some charts here in which I'm going to go through at the end. I'm going to give you guys some trade setups and some technicals, just to give everybody a refresher from that 7-month period overall. I'm just going to go through also a few tips, 4 main pointers, because I'm getting so many people now, and mainly through Instagram, to be honest, but we're going quite big on Instagram at the moment, and in our email inbox, we're getting so many people asking us, where do I start? I've been trading for 2 years, I'm not making any money, I'm going in circles and so on. So I'm just going to lay out a few pointers and tips going forward. So, what have Astro been doing recently, apart from upgrading offices, upgrading our course content, meeting, again, hundreds of people, not just in the UK, but also overseas. Just before Christmas, we were in Dubai. We had a great week out there, met some clients/students out there in which we were teaching for 3 days, and we also had some of our prior non-UK students fly out and meet us, which was great. We had an epic time. It was a crazy, crazy experience, and you know, we kind of went a bit wild at the end of the year, and now it's time to get back to the charts, to the trading and so on. Now, number one, right, so people ask me, where do I start with trading? Have you got any book? Do you recommend any books, reading any books and so forth? Me personally, the last time I read a book about trading was in my early days, and more or less that was just for the terminology aspect, learning the terminology. A lot of books out there these days in terms of the technicals are quite watered down. So number one is learn the craft. I've noticed that so many people are messaging me saying, okay, I'm going in circles, I'm losing money. I've been trying to trade for 2 years, but they're not putting the chart work in. First things first is learn technical analysis. Now, this market is 90% technical based, okay, and we trade around the fundamentals and so forth, but when you get a good eye on the technicals and you believe in yourself, you have that confidence. Main thing here, guys, is journaling. I was very stubborn in my personal journey when it comes to journaling and you know, putting in the befores and afters. Now we do it on Instagram, so the befores and afters is a way in which we select the best trades perhaps on our watch list for the day or week ahead, post it out there, and then we'll give you the win or loss, and we're quite transparent with that. So instead of focusing on trying to make money, trading out of desperation and all of these other, you know, wild emotions, learn technical analysis. Even if it's not from us, learn from somebody who actually shows transparency, who actually shows you that the trades they post, a lot of it's social media based, and even on the YouTube, actually play out, and they can actually explain why a certain currency pair is going to go somewhere. When you shift that to the side and start thinking about, oh, I want to earn money and so forth, the quality of your work and the passion dies out. Once that dies out, everything becomes a chore, and you're not going to enjoy it, you're not going to make money. The monetary side will come naturally once you start to live out your craft every single day. This for me, and this for AstroFX, is a daily religion and a routine and a commitment in which we live out every single day. It's almost like the charts are a part of me type thing. A lot of people don't see results, again, because they're not journaling, they're not honest with themselves. They look at the market and Forex in general as being because yes, it is virtual, they think it's just some crazy game where you can place trades and so forth and not log your work. Not logging your work, you're not going to remember what the hell you're doing, you're going to be going in circles for so long. And at the end of the day, the foreign exchange market and other tradable markets are in fact a business. With any business, you have to do your back-end work. Let's say, for instance, you're selling coffee somewhere in the street even. You're going to take note of your inventory, the coffee coming in, what's going out, the profit, net profit, gross profit, and so forth. That's what we have to do with FX. So, you know, spreadsheet work, journaling, and a lot of it, guys, is chart patterns. Maths is kind of minimal. You only obviously have your risk reward and your money management, but we also have to log the pattern work, the chart work, and so on. That's primary. Number two is knowing your pairs, and I've just mentioned you have to live this market out. So many people say, hey Sean, you know, I'm following this guy, I might pay for his signals. However, I'll check them out, they haven't even got a profile photo, they're just posting MT4 profits, where it's just profit, 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 profit. I'm going to show you guys in a moment how to get around that. If you look on my Instagram, there's a way in which anybody posting profits in order to draw people in without no chart work and so on, which is easily doable these days. They can easily prove it's a live account by shifting over to the left-hand side and pulling it to the right, and it will show you what account it is. Real gold symbol is obviously a real account, and then if it's a demo account, it'll be green and it'll say demo on there. So there's a lot of mess and nonsense going on out there. So learn yourself, learn the technicals, know your pairs and live your pairs every single day. Get a routine in place. Know when the day closes, know when the market closes, know when the busiest sessions are, know when the sessions overlap and you may see some false moves in order to maybe go the opposite direction of 90% of retail traders. You also need to study and get the experience in which you know market psychology, which is separate to human psychology, how that works in terms of it's a business, and the business is for the ones who are controlling it to screw and fuck everybody else over at the end of the day. So, you know, only experience in chart time is going to bring this to you, and being honest with yourself once more. Withdrawals. Now, withdrawals, once you, learn your craft, study your craft, get over your losses, get over your emotions, are consistent with your journaling, the money's going to come afterwards. It's all about the pips and the percentage, the monetary value of your lot size and so on. That can be adjusted, but the pips can't. The percentages, obviously it can, but in terms of being consistent, that needs to be consistent in itself. Withdrawals are what we do trading for. I know it's very, it's exciting. We all want to be in a trade. We all want to get that adrenaline rush. We all want to, feel really good when we've had a winning streak, and we all want to kind of stay away from the losing streaks. But however, that's the part of the job description. Withdrawals overall. Now, I'll show you what a withdrawal looks like. I'll put it in front of the camera and so forth in a moment so you can see that. So the MetaTrader 4 withdrawal I did last week was just 1 week's worth of trading. Now, in terms of withdrawals, Nat's done a video about this before on YouTube about compounding your account, but as a beginner, as a newbie, you need to get that out of your head. Number one is learn the charts, be consistent, and predict where the market is going to go and so on. Once you have that and you're confident with that, then start to place the trades. I always say to everybody, especially students who come in here, that if you just go away and you don't follow the journal, you don't put your heart and soul into the technicals, and you just try to start making money, that is going to distract your mind from the quality of your setups overall. So we need to program ourselves step by step. So we're talking setup quality, we're talking risk, getting 8 out of 10 trades correct, maybe even 4, 5, 6, but with a decent risk reward. Every trade you need to be looking at the risk reward. And for those as well who ask me what that green and red indicator is on my charts, that's a free risk reward tool. So before I post a chart, I'll weigh up where my entry is, where my stop is, and simply where my target is. The target should always be equal or more than your stop loss. So again, get that down. Withdrawals, timings on that. As I mentioned, we went to Dubai, we went a bit insane just before Christmas. It was all over the place, and I wanted to do a withdrawal when I seen a chunk of money on my account. So I did a Euro Yen trade. I put 2 positions on that, and then I went short on Euro as well Thursday night and non-farm payroll. I made about 40 pips from that. Very, very tight risk reward. It's not to say I trade non-farm payroll, but I spotted the opportunity as to where there was a false move before the news, which often happens. I went the opposite way as everyone else, and non-farm and knocked it down a little bit. I was out by Friday night. Did the withdrawal, as you can see, I just showed you it on the screen. So that there is split between me and Nat. Broker-wise as well, spread betting is tax-free in the UK. Everybody asking me about brokers. I might have a good recommendation for everybody soon. But what I would suggest, no matter how big your account is, you need to start taking little bits out. Let's say you made £50 on a £1,000 account in small increments over a week. Take £20 out. And when you see that hit your bank, I promise you, it's going to be, even it's a tiny amount, it's going to be motivation for you to say, okay, what I'm doing is working, my system's working, I'm withdrawing some money now, let me carry on. And it sparks the fire within you to continue and not get overwhelmed by making money, losing money, making money, losing money, and losing motivation overall. And then everybody hasn't got it in them to be a trader. Next one is repeat, repeat, repeat. Repetition overall is what is going to get you to where you want to be. Now, there's so many different ways to trade the market. and people will go down one way for a while. They might make some profits, and they could get a little bit greedy and say, you know what, I want another system because now I want more profits. And you start mixing things up, and it's all over the place, and it becomes a giant mess. People ask me about university as well. Education, formal education, you do not need any of that whatsoever. 90% of this work is technical, chart-based, reading the charts, but I will say you do need a certain level of intelligence. Something called spatial intelligence, and spatial intelligence is the awareness of your mind in order to actually look at something and predict in your mind what can potentially happen in the future. And this is built up again by chart time. If you do the befores and afters, that spatial intelligence factor within yourself will grow and grow and grow. And you can look at a chart upon opening one and say, okay, cool, there's a setup. And the setups just roll to you rather than you trying to fight the market and so forth. So you get your pairs. I look at 9 instruments. Do I look at them every day? No. I'll browse through, and some I might be hunting for a few days. Majors and maybe gold and oil as well. I may even do some analysis and not even enter the trade. I'm just giving that out because I'm already in 1 or 2 trades as well. One thing as well, people asking me how do you handle the stress and so forth. Just a few pointers. I'm going to be doing way more videos on all of this. It's good to meditate for 30 minutes in the morning upon wake before you hit the charts. Also, your diet needs to be on point brain power wise, because computers, even me, they do drain your brain power overall. So you can supplement with superfoods, minerals such as silica and so forth. Just get it busy. I'm going to be coming with a lot of smoothie recipes on my Instagram. I'm always posting this shit for people. Breathing exercises as well, because a lot of people are often, the energy is in the head space and they're just like trade, 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 and they're not really grounded. I'm one of those because I'm quite like a mental person. So breathing exercises, you can do pranayama breathing, which is alternative nostril breathing, 5 minutes before you hit the chart. Now you're nice and calm, relax, and you're allowing the trades to come to you. And once more, on top of all that, have a routine. Know when the market closes for the day. Look at the market of the night. I wouldn't really be entering trades GMT after 4 or 5 p.m. because the day's normally done. I would always wait for the daily candle to close at 10 p.m. Once I've done that in the morning, I'll be up at 6:30. I'll be doing my meditation, drinking my superfoods, having a decent breakfast, breathing exercises and so forth, and I hit my routine. But from the night before, because I live these pairs out every single damn day, I already know where, all of the levels in my head, the key levels and so forth. I already know the directional bias of most of the currencies I look at. So my technical work every day now, because I've been doing it for God knows how many years and repeating over and over again, becomes a breeze. So a couple tips there, guys. Very, very brief tips. However, I am going to be coming through with more and more and more. So I'm going to get into the technicals now. Just, a short welcome, hello back. Technical Tuesdays is here. I'm going to go through probably 4 or 5 currency pairs, give you my outlook. And again, welcome everybody to the AstroFX YouTube channel. There's a lot more coming on this channel, a lot more traveling. Probably going to just chill out on the vlog side of things and hit you with the raw trading content and the technicals and so forth in order to assist all of our subscribers and followers going forward. So let's go. Let's start the technical. Okay, so here we are, technical analysis. It's been 7 months, mid-May. What the hell was going on? I don't know, and we are now back. So I'm going to go through 4 instruments. Euro USD, I'm going to go through the Euro JPY as well, and what I think is going to happen there. I'm going to go through USD CAD because I'm seeing so many mixed emotions surrounding this currency pair online at the moment. I'm just going to give you what I think is going to happen very, very soon. And oil as well. Now, oil, I was doing a one-to-one session on Friday, and we looked at oil, and I had the most perfect fib setup, oil short. I didn't even take it on Monday. So I'm going to go through that and tell you guys, what I think is going to happen on the oil there. Now, in front of us, we have the Euro USD. Euro USD recently, well, for a long, long time actually, we were trapped between 1.1450 and 1.0500. This range, we've been in this range for over 2 years, coming up to 2.5 years. And most recently, after the US elections, it has been showing us points of price action which determine this thing is going south. But every time it goes south, especially when we broke below 1.0500, to me, it was fishing. It was all over the place. I remember I posted a Euro USD trade on Instagram just after Christmas, right? So the week in between Christmas and New Year, I was on an absolute chilling one. And I thought, let's look at the markets. And I did end up placing 2 trades. One was Euro USD, and the Euro USD short, it was when it retested 1.0500 after it broke through it, the first time in God knows how many years. My stop loss was 30 pips. It was more or less an intraday trade, but my target was 90, so it was a 1 to 3 risk reward. It got stopped out overnight on this huge ass candle here, as you can see, and that was more or less due to thin trading conditions. And also, I do believe it was a slight piece of manipulation there because it was such an easy setup short. I fell for it as well. And yeah, a few people came up the woodwork on Instagram like they do sometimes, like, oh, you lost this trade, so. But those real traders who know how risk reward works and how trading does work, risking 30 pips for 90 pips is a great risk reward. And the trade I did after that, the Euro JPY, was a risk of 60 pips for 120 to 140. That came through, hit target, which I'll go through in a moment, and scooped all of those pips back. So when I was firstly talking, this is more or less to the new people, about risk reward, is focus on the chart work. You cannot really apply risk reward to a chart if you cannot read a chart. A lot of people are fixated on how to get into the market, but they forget where the market's going to go and they can't read the bigger time frames and so forth. So you need a backwards approach to everybody else. So in the case of the EU right now, we are swinging to the downside. Recently today actually, 1.0615 is a daily area of resistance in which we penetrated slightly but closed back below. The daily candle, even though there is 2 or 3 hours left on this day now, is looking as if that we could maybe see some bearish momentum tomorrow, but we always need to wait for the candlesticks to close. So where do I think this is going? There's a fib on the euro at the moment from highs down to lows. I'm just taking the base low there from the daily support, 1.0352. We've got a projection of 1.0211 and also our secondary projection of 1.0030. I'm just going to say 1, which is parity with the US dollar. The dollar index at the moment, it broke out. I did a video on this, the gold bearish cycle, which is on YouTube. I suggest everybody goes to watch that. I got a lot of stick for that as well, but guess what? Gold fell good nearly 2,000 pips since. I will be catching up on that video soon, and I covered a little bit of info and insight into the dollar index and how it works. Right, going into a smaller time frame, if we look at the Euro USD over here, what I can see, we've came up yesterday into early hours of this morning. We've retested the spike through a spike, and I've got a certain reversal pattern in which I went in on today. So I'm short the euro at the moment. I'm just going to tell you, short the euro at the moment. Stops 54 pips. That's where I lined it up right here. That's where my entry was. The rejection of 1.0615. Target 1 is 1.0500. If we come back below 1.0500, and I will be monitoring a daily perspective there, we're looking at 1.0350 once more, and maybe even making a sneaky new low past 1.0339. So I'm looking at a potential of 240 to 260 pips to the downside. So this is one I'm short on now, and I'll update this maybe to the end of this week, and so on. So euro for me is short right now, and that is why. Euro JPY is a fucking, sorry for swearing, but Euro JPY gets me excited. I've been waiting for this for God knows how long. Now, what I see on Euro JPY at 123.18 and 124, again, guys, key levels are just absolutely vital. If you know about key levels and you know about different theories behind it and so on, they're your foundations for everything else to sprout upon and grow. Now, Euro JPY, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rejections and retests of 123.20 and a spike all the way up to 124, and we couldn't close above that. The weekly looks terrible, indecisive. The current weekly candle looks terrible, but the week, we still got some days of the week, so again, be patient. However, monthly as well, as you can see, spikes up to 124 and back below. Now, daily perspective, I've got my MAs crossing over, sign of momentum, reversal. So what's actually happening behind the scenes here in a consolidation zone? It's not the market's tired and so on, all that cliche. What's actually happening is the market's accumulating orders overall. Now, for those people who are new, this game, just to put you ahead in terms of the mentality behind market psychology, the game is a game of net buyers and net sellers, i.e. if there's a certain amount of sellers in the market, the market's probably going to go the other way, retail sellers and so forth. So what's actually happening here behind the scenes is it's accumulating orders, because prior to that we were on quite a strong uptrend. But we come to 124, again the market reacts from these numbers because it's just digits. And those digits are going to tell us, okay, market's stopping here, we're accumulating orders, and in an area of accumulation on a smaller time frame, you're going to see a lot of chop saw. So let's look at how the hourly looks, well, 4 hourly actually. So the 4 hourly, as you can see, within that range of accumulation, madness, 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 sudden fast moves, which are normally the false moves based on some of the economic releases that come out there, because a lot of that is just a mask for manipulation as well. So what we can see here, though, we can see a significant high into a lower high into another lower high, expected Euro JPY to make a new low past 121.68. So that's the 4 hour, but the daily perspective on this one is that if I remove the candles, we just got the crossover, so that's like a tick box for me. Confluence, it's all about confluences. If you have many confluences for a trade and you're confident on it, maybe you can up your risk. I don't personally believe in sticking to the same risk on every single trade, because sometimes you have to go aggressive and some trades may be not as good as other ones. So, you know, it makes sense to maybe modify here and there your risk profile overall. So EJ, I'm looking at this target wise, breaking 122, and we're going to come back down. First target, 121.80s, 121.90s. Secondary point, we're looking at 121. Overall, 120. We're currently trading at 122.22. So 220 pips to the downside on EJ. I don't see no reason to buy EJ at all. USD CAD's causing a lot of stir right now. Many people are buying, many people are selling, and so forth. Me personally, I won't be buying USD CAD at all. I'm looking at, well, 3,400 on USD CAD. We popped above, we've had indecision, again accumulation, that's what's going on behind the dojis and so on. And now we've come back to the downside. As long as we stay below 1.3400, this shit ain't going up. Now, looking at the weekly time frame, overall we came down, God knows how many pips, and we've gone choppy, 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 choppy. It's built its way up, popped above 3,400, and then all the way back down. Once we get the crossover, this trend line here, trend line, I'll use them here and there as like a guidance for momentum and so on overall. But USD CAD for me is short. I will not be buying USD CAD. So that's the weekly perspective. Look at the daily. We could see a potential pullback, maybe to 1.33 at best, 60 pips, and then short. Or this thing's just going to melt tomorrow, maybe the day after. USD CAD shorts, next point of call for USD CAD is 1.3100, 1.3, then 1.2800. Everybody is buying, no sir. I shouldn't be really involved in too many buys on this, because the higher time frames are looking horrible. It made a little new high by a few pips. The market's very, very precise in the way it'll do this. It pulled back, and now, yeah, I think there's going to be so many people trapped long on this pair, the market's just going to fall flat out of the sky. Oil trade, next downside target for oil is $50 a barrel. Daily dying, weekly dying, 4 hour setup. As I mentioned, I ran over this with a student on Friday. We have the perfect opportunity for a short, and it's in the member zone as well, the AstroFX member zone, where we do these breakdowns every week, sometimes every 2 weeks depending on the market condition. But we had boom down here, and then we had the rejection and retracement at the daily level of resistance, 61 fib. Our next point of call is 50.21. If we break 50, we are going to be going to 47.50 on oil. So oil's falling out the sky. USD CAD is going to probably fall out the sky. EJ is going to fall out the sky, and I'm short on Euro USD. I'm in profit at the moment, and I just pray it falls out the sky. Guys, hope and so forth in this game. It's not something that you should rely on. You should rely on your technical analysis, your ability, your confidence, and even when we've been posting charts and keeping very, very transparent on Astro Instagram at AstroFX, if you guys aren't following us yet. Not many people do it, not many people, especially when you enter the trade as well, and then you're putting that added pressure onto yourself of everybody watching that trade, and the potential for, worms and whatnot to come out and start commenting on that. There's a lot of pressure there, but that's something that comes with confidence. Stepping up your chart game, revisiting your journals every single week, and continuously tweaking your system. And once you've done it, God knows how many times, you allow these trades to breathe, you allow these trades to play out and so forth. So I've stopped posting charts for a while now, because there's certain people out there who steal them. Some people take it, put it onto their chart, say it's their trade, charge people
and so forth for free information, which is a bit of a shame for people as well, because I had so many people say I've made them money, which is great. I've helped them out of Christmas from the trades. I've helped them in terms of just general knowledge and motivation, and allowing people to see the trades be posted, me take the trades, me update people on the trades on Instagram, and then withdraw those trades from a real account. So it's post the trades, which we do. We post the losses, we post the wins, I post the updates of the trades, and I'll post the withdrawals of the trades as well. So it's the whole shebang. It's the, the whole rounded way of trading Forex and making money. So I hope you enjoyed those technicals. We will be back, maybe not next week, the week after, because Astro is booked out till May. Yeah, May, and then we're coming to Miami as well, so all of those dates and so forth are going to be announced. Euro short running, hope you enjoyed that. Go back, check it out. Give me some feedback on the video, and then follow AstroFX on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.